It's episode 46 of the Improv London podcast. I'm your host, Stuart Moses, and this week's guests are Carleen Mcdermid and Keith Malda. Yay! Let's talk about slapdash.
Thank you.
What's slapdash?
Okay, both faces turned expectantly to me. So Slapdash is an international improv festival that's been happening in London now for 6 or 7 years.
It's not about facts, this podcast.
It's not about facts, which is good, because to be honest, that's the one fact I don't have. So it was always run by the nursery to begin with, and then last year C3 Something got involved for the first time. And essentially, it's a week-long festival. There'll be shows for 4 nights, the 19th, 20th, 21st and 22nd of October. But there'll be workshops all the way through from the 17th to the 23rd. And it's just a chance to bring the internationals to us to celebrate improv across Europe while we're still a part of it and they want to come, and across the rest of the world. And also to just give Londoners a chance to see a massive variety of styles on stage and to learn from an enormous number of teachers, all of whom represent the diversity of improv because it is 11 white men.
It actually is, yeah. It actually is 11 white male teachers.
I was very conscious of that when we were booking it all. We had one female improviser coming and she had to drop out and everybody else is a white guy. Oh, the performers are very mixed, but the teachers, we have failed the diversity test. The teaching test, though, we're winning. They're great.
Oh dear. Well, I feel a little disappointed. I was fully behind Slapdash now, and you brought up the lack of diversity in the people you bring across.
Oh, shit, man. Well, what are we going to talk about for the other 45 minutes?
Keith's here. Let's talk about festivals and bringing over people, because that's one of the things I enjoyed, particularly from last year's Slapdash, was just the opportunity to see different people who I didn't know performing different styles and just being made aware of all the things you can do in improv.
Yeah, were you the night that Anthony Atamanik and Neil Casey done the 2-man movie?
Yeah.
It's a farce to call that an improv show. It was a rock night.
Seriously, they blew the roof off the place. Yeah. I've said a couple of times to people, because I was lucky enough to be hosting that night. Yes. It was incredibly humbling to have to be the one to take the stage after they performed, because just the wave of noise coming at me, like it's the only improv act I've ever had to call back on for another bow.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain for those that weren't there?
Oh my God!
It's hard to sum up, but go on.
So Anthony and Neil, two just incredible improvisers who came last year for Slapdash 2015.
Anthony Atamanik, you might recognise as being the most famous Donald Trump doing the rounds at the moment.
He's taken over at midnight this week.
He has.
Comedy Central. He's hosting as Donald Trump.
And Neil Casey, if you don't hate all women, was the bad guy in the most recent Ghostbusters. So two massive names.
And all thanks to Slapdash.
Yeah.
For propelling them into.
He was auditioning for Ghostbusters as he was here, but it was being here that really clinched it for him. It was the last bit. They're like, cool, man. Yeah, you can do it.
Fantastic. So they do a film called The Movie, which Carleen and I are in a team that do the movie.
We do it a little bit better than them, but we wanted them to come over anyway.
Yeah, we wanted to do that bit and coach them. But oh my God, it was just insane, because the movie's a difficult film. Carleen would agree. With a full 8-person
I've been
team,
improvising for 20 years and it's so fucking hard.
It's hard.
I don't even like it. We do it every Sunday and I don't even like it. It's so hard. But the audience seems to like it.
Yeah. So to do it with 2 people is just insane. And let's put a spin on it. Not only did I do it with 2 people, and they're playing every character. They're doing all of the camera angles, the sound effects. They done basically a face-off parody. So not only are they remembering what character they are, they're remembering what other character's face they've got. It was like
face-off just swapped 2 people. Their piece ended up swapping 5.
It was just I've never seen anything like it. The 10-year-old girl, a sexy 10. If you remember, ended up being the...
that came from the show. That wasn't just Keith's opinion.
No, she was very sexy. Just...
And is it all right if it's, a middle-aged man playing the...
It's even better.
Is that...
I mean, I do think the two-man movie was the absolute epitome of slapdash. It's the show that everybody is still talking about a year later, which is something I love about improv. You can't ever see that again.
Yeah, no.
But, and to explain it, everyone sitting at home is just like, man. But to having been there, I think we all as improvisers have those shows where it's just like, holy shit, my mind was blown.
Yeah.
But then there's 3 other nights and a dozen other acts doing entirely different things. You know, Teatro Bu were there, who are an Italian improv group from Milan who specialise in clown and improv, and their style of play is also extraordinarily funny, but very slow, very emotionally grounded, very physical, which is something that I think English-speaking improvisers all acknowledge is something we're poor at. We'll stand around and chat a lot and be really clever. As soon as I get off the mainland here and head over to Europe, everyone's moving, everyone's got fantastic facial expressions, and it makes me realise how many scenes I do where it's just like me on a chair, me standing with hands on hips. Yeah, I mean, we had teams last year from Estonia, from...
I love the Estonians. What was the name of the group?
Yeah, but they were all like in the fancy dresses and stuff.
Yeah.
Improv group,
the
yeah.
soap opera thing.
Yes,
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
that. I was just like, well, first of all, you can improvise in heels.
Right.
That immediately wins my respect. And then it was just I don't know, I just loved their style. It was just so entertaining. It was just, it was brilliant.
Yeah,
It was great.
I think that's what's great about Slapdash is just like everything just coming from all around the world, and we don't. I think we've got a great improv scene in London, so I'm not shitting on our scene because I think it's I genuinely do. I think it's fantastic, but just as Colin was saying, just like all of these other styles and just possibilities, we've got some really cool acts this year.
Well, we're really lucky. It's, a nice segue. We're really lucky in London, I think, because we do get our fair share of American teachers over, where there are scenes that are way more developed than us and way more established. And, you know, it's anybody who knows anything about C3 something, we wear our hearts on our sleeves. We love UCB. We love that style of game. But also, as an Australian who grew up in the middle of fucking nowhere, like, it took me 4.5 hours on the airplane to get to the other side of my country, let alone anywhere else in the world. To be someone who has performed in Sweden, I've performed in Estonia, I've performed in Spain, I've performed in Norway, I've performed in Finland, I'm missing places. Apologies to any other festivals who may hear this that I've been
Horse
to.
and Stables every Sunday night.
Horse and Stables every Sunday night at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. SE17RW.
The Miller every other Wednesday.
Is that this week? I don't know. It's absolutely phenomenal that all of these places are doing their own improv, and it does sadden me a little bit that there's that bit of disjoint between here and there when it's like, it takes you an hour. It takes you an hour on an air. Go. It's closer than Scotland. Go. And so that's one of the things that's wonderful to me about Slapdash. I can't speak for everybody involved in the process. I mean, Keith's working with us for the first time. Mariana has been doing the most amount of work. If you look on Facebook, 90% of the stuff coming out is coming from her. And obviously the nursery, but like Shem and I know every single person who's coming. We've seen them perform, or we've worked with them. Like, we haven't just brought randoms. These are all hand-selected teams, hand-selected teachers, because we know how much they can bring to London and how much people could... it's not even about benefiting from them. It's just like you say, it's just about, cool, you like blue? I like blue. Now come and see all the other colours.
Yes, and just being made aware that the other colours exist is kind of mind-blowing. So what is it that you want to teach London?
Holy shit, man, you better answer that one, because I'm going to offend people.
What do I... now I need to hear.
My list is so long. People are just going to be like, she thinks we don't know anything.
By which I mean, why have you selected these people to come across? What can they offer the people of London?
Yeah, well, I mean, I haven't seen them, but I've watched Convoy. So we've got Convoy coming over.
I haven't just seen them, I've played with them.
They've played with you.
I definitely played with them. It was. I would love to be like, yeah, they did. They played with Shem. I played with them.
So they're a fantastic team from UCB in LA.
Cool.
And they've got some just amazing videos on YouTube, and that's what's cool now. It's like we can watch on YouTube all of these great acts, and it seems like, I mean, you've played. They seem like really fast and playful.
The thing that's wonderful about Convoy, if you watch them, if you like the American style of improv, they're a real marriage of it. Like, they're a UCB flagship team. They're the team that everybody else goes Convoy. When Shem and I were over there with Will and Al playing with them, even like improvisers we really respect were like, "You're playing with Convoy? I haven't even played with Convoy." It's like, that's me in my place. But so they're a UCB flagship team, but they're mad Rosowski advocates. They're all IO trained. Like, they're a real mesh of wonderful playing styles. And one of Convoy's greatest assets is that they never say no to anything. Right. They are the perfect team for just like, yep. And they sort of almost don't play with a straight man. You've invented this crazy word? Cool. Here's a justification for it. Let's live in the madness. And for me, they are the epitome of how I would like to play, because they're so funny. Their game in scenes is so sharp, but then they're emotional, it's grounded, it's interesting. And as an advocate of UCB, I feel like they're a great one for demonstrating the whole, like, it's not just game, guys. It is, you got to have all the tools in your belt. For people that do the whole, like, UCB is just game. It's like, I challenge you to come see Convoy then. I challenge you to see Convoy and then say that sentence to my face afterwards.
Challenge one.
Oh, so many times we play in that game. Oh my God, London, my challenges are coming at you. I literally just left my chair for the listener. I got so excited. And I don't ever get up voluntarily.
She did. What I found really interesting was when they announced the workshops that are going on sale. Mm-hmm. So Alex Berg is one of the teachers that plays on Convoy, and he's, as you say, like, UCB are known for game. And the first workshop that he's put on sale was emotional heightening, which to me is like, well, that's a very IO kind of, it's like emotions. And
well, that's one of Convoy's main beliefs, that when people try to heighten improv scenes, people do just linear heightening. Dad, Mr. President, God. Dad, Mr. President, God. And one of the things that Convoy really preaches, I've been lucky enough to work with to learn from Alex Fernie, who's one of Convoy, is if you heighten the emotional stakes, you usually have a better heighten, because it means more and it matters more, rather than just we're playing the same scene, but instead of Dad, it's Mr. President.
Yeah, and they're bringing over Drew DeFonso Marks. He's playing with them, who apparently, like, you know him.
Yes.
He's a bit of a legend in his own, and he is just like a game machine.
He is.
So I need to meet him so he can explain what it is.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was going to be very much the next question.
Yeah.
We keep mentioning game. I still don't know what game is.
Well, luckily there's still a few tickets left for sale for Drew DeFonso Marks. Making Game Easy.
Drew DeFonso Marks, Making Game Easy is sold out.
I got the last one.
I have to say, I mean, I guess I shouldn't, but fuck it, I'm going to anyway. Knowing everybody is teaching. Drew is doing a class called You Decide What This Is. And it's basically every single person who takes the class comes in with one thing they want to work on. Me personally, I'm going to take it and work on straight manning, because I'm a terrible straight man. When I'm in scenes, I can be as mad as a box of frogs. The second I'm a straight man, I'm just like, you're stupid, this is weird. And then I'm really surprised that our scene isn't funny. But Drew is a phenomenal teacher. He just has a way of explaining stuff that just makes it, he makes shit easier in a way that I've taken classes with some phenomenal teachers who are really inspiring. Michael Delaney is very Yoda-like, but Drew is that teacher that it's just like, God, why have I found this so fucking hard? It's like, where were you 4 years ago? He just has a way of just like, no, it's this. Oh, all right. So he's my challenge 2, London.
Challenge 2.
So you decide what this workshop's about. Pick the one thing you get notes on.
I'm going to take account of you here. I'm going to be controversial and tell people not to sign up for that one. Purely because I've signed up, and at the moment There's only a few people, so I want as much one-on-one time with you as possible. So
Challenge
this is going to be a
retracted.
Terrible, yeah, do not sign up for this.
That's true, actually. That's one of the only ones I've managed to sign up for so far.
So
I've politely stepped back to let London have their dig at it first, and now I'm really regretting my choices of just like, man, I brought them over. Why aren't I in this? I don't have a class with Scott Adsit. Fuck you guys. Scott Adsit!
Tell us about Scott Adsit.
Oh, so for those of you who might not know, Scott Adsit is an improviser who's been going a long time. He started in Chicago. He was at Second City there and IO there. You would probably best know him as Pete Hornberger from 30 Rock. So he was on 30 Rock for all 7 seasons.
With a Tamanik.
Tamanik was on in the background, as was John Murray. More specifically with Tina Fey.
Oh, yeah.
That's a name worth dropping. And a few other people.
She's coming to Slapdash 2017.
Oh, she's... Yeah, I mean,
Is that confirmed?
Well, she's
Because
at my
that's
house.
challenge 4.
I mean, Tina's at my house now just hanging out. She just didn't want London to know. Yeah, so Scott Adsit is an absolute hero and just mad crush of mine, quite frankly. And if you look on his IMDb page, if you've seen Big Hero 6, the DreamWorks film, he's the voice of Baymax. But he also has done a whole pile of his own stuff. Moral Oral, get on YouTube and check that out. It's a very funny comedy show, very weird, acclamation, weird but in a great way. So he's coming over. He's going to do Adsit and You, which is a show he does at... the UCB Improv Festival every year, the Del Close Marathon. And he will just pull people out of the audience. So this is a genuine legend of improv. Normally, again, I would step back and let London go. I may just push my way to the front. Fuck you guys. This may be a thing I'm going to do, guys.
Well, I was talking to Drew. I was talking to Shem earlier today.
He'll be very flattered with
Yeah, I
that
was
mistake.
thinking that's not a bad mistake to
I was
make,
talking
is
to
it?
Shem DeFonso Marks. And he said that at DCM, I don't know if it was this year or last, but at the Del Close Marathon, Scott Adsit played, and at the very front of the queue was Ari Vidukis.
Yeah, Vikidis, yeah.
Vikidis, yeah, at my 101 teacher. But like, I mean, and he is like a legend in his own right, and he's like a little fanboy running to. So that, for
But
me,
he was
shows...
genuinely the first person up. It was so funny because Scott, it's a packed room. It's at the Chelsea Theatre. So all the seats are filled. The standing room is completely filled. So there's a good 200 people in the room. And it's Scott Adsit. Everyone's like, Scott Adsit, Scott Adsit. My seat's getting damper and damper. Not through urine, everybody. And he does the whole, like, who wants to go first? And you could feel most of the room does that suddenly awkward thing of, like, oh, no. And you see that, like, this hand shoots up and he leaps out of his seat. And it's Ari Vakidis, who not only has been a UCB teacher, he was the second ever UCB intern, his wife Betsy being the first. So he has been an improviser and improv teacher for, like, nigh on 20 years. He leapt down. So you can play with Scott.
We get to play with him.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can't train with him, though. People were clever. Those classes sold out in 60 seconds. He went on sale. He went off sale, guys. So if you wanted to take a class with Scott Adsit, find someone with a ticket and kill them, because you are shit out of luck. Challenge 4.
The Improv London podcast does not advocate the killing of improvisers and then the stealing of their ticket.
Carleen Mcdermid's views represent herself.
Not necessarily the management of the podcast. So why is Scott Adsit so amazing?
A lot of it is just...
And can we learn from it?
Oh, fuck yeah, we can. Oh, we can. I mean, I learned from just watching him. I've watched him at the last 2 DCMs. So, I mean, one of the reasons he's amazing is because he's been doing it for, like, 30 years. And also, something that's great about Scott is that he does so much. He's a writer, he's a director, he's a producer, he's an actor, he's an improviser. So he's learnt to take those skills and expand them. But one of the things that I loved watching Scott this year, I saw him in Gravid Water, which for people that don't know, is a show where they get professional actors in. So really professional actors, people off Broadway, things like that. The people off Broadway have been given a script with one side of the lines and they have it completely memorized. Right. And then the improviser has no idea what that script is going to be. Wow. And together they perform.
Oh, I've heard of this show.
Yeah, it's fantastic to watch. I know Katie Shute has tried a variation of it here. It's phenomenal watching it with professional actors and really experienced improvisers. But one of the things that I loved about watching Scott do it is that he really went to the material. So, like, he made it hilarious. He made it really, really, really funny, but not by selling the material out or cheapening the scripted work, but just by really listening and then finding incredibly fun ways to build on it. And I could feel the audience getting blown away because there were so many times the actor chooses when they're going to deliver the next line. They're looking, and sometimes it does feel a little bit crowbarred when you watch that show, and it's a bit like, well, this line doesn't fit, but I have to speak anyway. There were so many times in his where everyone was like, that felt really natural. That did feel like the next line because of whatever he'd said was moving in that direction anyway. So I feel like, yeah, if you want to learn from Scott, you can really learn listening. And also just watch someone that experienced play with people out of the audience. I've had the pleasure of watching Jason Mantzoukas do the same thing. He does that. See how inexperienced people can make other ones look like a genius by listening and by exploring their ideas and bringing it to the other player rather than just, I'm funny, we'll make it about me. Is that a good answer?
That's a very good answer.
Good, man. We're going to need to dry this chair off too. That's too much about Scott. Let's move on.
Who else are you looking forward to?
Should we move away from the Americans? I mean, we've got Big Bang coming in from Boston. They're wonderful. But let's have a look at some of the European.
So I got Prabhav, alumni of the Improv London podcast, and my old teammate from Hammer of Zeus project. I got a random...
And Cynthia Buck.
Yeah,
Never forget Cynthia Buck.
So I got around. He's in Berlin at the moment. He's moved over there for like a year or so. Or who knows, right? Let's see.
It's Prabs. We know. Who knows?
Who knows?
So I got a random message from Prabs recently.
We swear on,
actually, she's been swearing non-stop. So
Sorry, London.
I just got a holy fuck. I was like, what? And he went, good luck, Barbara. And I was like, what? And there's a team called Good Luck Barbara that are in Berlin. And,
so technically we've moved away from the Americans, but we have now moved to Americans who live in Berlin.
Oh, okay. I'm learning here too. But yeah, I mean, he was just blown away by him. He said he's never seen anything like it. So like, he's raving. And you know what? If you know Prabs like I know Prabs, it takes a lot to like really impress him. So yeah, he was genuinely impressed.
So Good Luck Barbara now.
Lightbox.
Yes?
Lightbox.
So, well, we'll do both. And Good Luck Barbara are a team that are now based in Berlin who run their own improv theatre there. And they do a whole pile of different things. There's 3 or 4 of them coming. They're not clear yet. The T Brothers and a guy named Chris Rock. Sadly, not that Chris Rock. And then a woman who I haven't met. So there are some people coming that I haven't met. I'm very excited.
Challenge 5.
Find the people I haven't met. It's like one of those children's activities that are, when they go to an art gallery, it's like, find the picture that has a telephone in it.
I was thinking Pokemon, but yeah.
I'm so addicted to Pokemon Go. I don't understand why.
She is literally playing it as we speak. She's aimed her phone at the
I'm not, but it is always open in my background.
Just in case.
Yeah.
So, just caught a man chop before we started. So they're wonderful. And then Lightbox is a really exciting one. It's an improviser named Frank Buzz. He's coming over from France. I worked with him. Where was I with him? Sweden, in Uppsala this year. And Shem took his workshop there and said it was great. So that's one of the reasons why he's coming here. So he focuses very much, he's an improviser, but in real life, his real job is, basically, he's an improv teacher and a lighting designer.
Wow.
So one of the mixer shows, we do mixer shows each Slapdash, which is where we take people from all of their own teams and bring them together so we can see how internationals play together.
Kind of like the UN.
Yeah, exactly how the UN works. And we get together and Kofi Annan comes back in. They bring him back in. He's no longer leading the UN, but he does all of their, teaching them how to be trees.
And sweep edits.
Yes. And sing. So when we do the mixer groups, his is going to be lighting LED.
Wow.
So they'll be using a whole pile of different lights, and he'll be looking at how you can use lights to support your improv, but also how you can use lights to direct your improv or inspire your improv. I love blank stage, white lights, 4 chairs. I love that improv starts from nothing. But I also love that you can build an environment without building an environment just by using lights. So you'll see him do that, but then also he's running a workshop. And I know a lot of improvisers, because I was a little bit to begin with like, we'll perform above palms, we don't have any fucking lights. You know? So he's aware that it's not just like, if you had access to a full theatre, you could do this. It is also like, hey man, you've got one spotlight. Yeah. Cool, we'll look at that too. So there is the full range of like, so it's just, for me, it's just a really fun, different way to have a look at how you improvise. It's not just what's happening in your scene, it's what's happening around it. Gosh, who else have we got? Oh, I'm so excited. So...
What about Le Carpe? Because we met Cedric. Cedric came to play with us.
Yes.
And I saw, for the first time ever, we've got a regular improviser comes to our shows at the Horse and Stables called Lucy. And Lucy's French, and Cedric came from France. And in our jam, they done a scene just purely in French.
Because she has started her improv here and in Japan. So she's improvised in Japanese, she's improvised in English, but she had never improvised in French.
Wow.
So she was just like, do you think he'd do a scene? It's like, I bet he would.
It was like, I think I understood what was happening in the scene. So it was really...
I understood all the language up the top. I don't know any French. I had Japanese as a high school language. But I recognized such the rhythm that I knew they had asked for a suggestion. So I gave them like my one French word, oeuf. They were like, oeuf? It's like, yeah, egg, oeuf. It's the only, I've given you my one French word, go.
You explained to them what oeuf meant.
I think they were curious as to whether or not I was giving a suggestion or just making a noise. My accent was so horrific. Earth, you know. Biblioteca? I think that's Spanish. I have no idea. I'm incredibly ignorant.
So what are they? Le Carpe Quatre?
Le Carpe Haute. Apologies to anyone listening in French because I've just murdered that. They are bonkers in the best way possible. Mad as hatters. So there's 3 guys coming over. Cedric is one of them, Dan, Gael. If you're attracted to boys, this is the show to watch. Because they're all just gorgeous, sexy Frenchmen doing gorgeous, sexy improv. Very physical, quite clownish, but in a way that I love. I can't not get bitchy, Stuart, but I'm going to do it. I feel like a lot of people, when they marry clown to improv, just do the whole like, it's an excuse to go crazy. And I personally find that really hard because I'm still just like, why? I need a justification or it's not good improv. That's just a thing in my brain. So I feel like these guys have the great marriage. They do a thing called Let's Play. I don't know if that's what they're doing here because it's improv. They might be doing a different show. But Let's Play, they look to be inspired by everything. So they'll randomly reposition chairs, they'll use their clothes, they'll grab stuff off the audience, and it'll just be like, can anything inspire us? Now let's just have a look at how this scene develops. And some of their scenes will be full of dialogue, and other ones will have no dialogue. There'll be song, there'll be music, there'll be a ton of stuff. Some ideas we'll revisit, some ideas we'll never see again. I've seen them at several European festivals, and every single time they lift the roof off the place. They are so popular. To my genuine chagrin, so many festivals I've been at, the rebranding have been like the team. Everyone's been so excited. We've been great. And then La Capo play, and everyone's like, oh, you were nearly the best at the festival. Fuck off, La Capo. They're also great friends of ours. They're really wonderful people. And they're doing 2 classes, which I'm really excited about because of what we were saying before about how... and I'm worse for this than anyone. I coach 4 teams in the UK, I teach classes, and I never teach anything physical because I'm a big fat blob with a bad back and arthritic knees, so I never fucking move in my scenes. I never move in life. If I could get a toilet with wheels, I would never stand up again. So Dan is focusing on answering with silence. So it's all about shut up, listen, how can you respond emotionally, how can you use your face, how can you use your environment. And I'm desperately going to my phone because it's just straight up dropped out of my head what Cedric's doing. Yeah, what's Cedric doing?
Mime and object work.
Mime and object work. So yeah, I mean, those guys, to me, are teaching 2 classes that English-speaking improvisers would be well advised to go to. Because it's... I don't think it's fair to say... I'm not shitting on people to say that's a real weakness of ours, I think, of remembering all of the objects and what to do with them. So I would 100% encourage people to take their workshops and check out their shows.
AMS.
AMS. Oh, another German group, not from Berlin. That's a real mixed group. So they are a mix of Germans, and then a whole pile of different people from different expat communities have come together. Because a lot of, when you go over to Europe, I know you were asking a lot about the festivals out there, a lot of European improv communities have got at least one or two expats at the head, where it's someone who's moved from here or America or something that's just been like, I've moved away from my hobby. I will build it back up single-handedly. AMS are the most lovely guys, and they're really solid. They've been building their own community as well. They are similar to C3 Something in the sense of they do a lot bringing out American teachers. Toby Silas, sorry Toby if you listen to this, I've just killed your surname, is a good friend of Will Hines, so Will Hines goes out and works with them. So this is, I think only their second or third international festival, so they're all really excited to come. They're really on it. And who else have I missed? Are we going?
Yada Yada.
Yada Yada Improv.
Finland.
Oh my god, how could I miss Yada Yada Improv?
Trent, sold out.
Holy shit, guys. Yeah, Trent Pansy, if you wanted to train with him, it's like, Scott, that's it. Too late. Too late. If you listened to my last podcast with Stuart, you probably heard me mention Trent Pansy, because Trent is the person who comes to mind when I say expat building improv communities. He is the force behind the Finland Improv Fest, FIF. And you were talking about European festivals. If you're going to do one, guys, do Slapdash. If you're going to do two, go to FIF.
Challenge 6.
But not DCM.
European festivals. I did put European festivals in front. Yeah, if you're going to do one, guys, go to DCM. Fuck this. 50 hours, 9 stages. I mean, we're trying, but we're above the Miller. We're doing our best. Because there are a lot of festivals in Europe, way bigger than anything that we can manage here. I mean, Slapdash sold out last year, but that's still 100 people per night. We're above the Miller. Hoopla, thank you, Steve Rowe, is nice enough to give us the space for the festival. But Finland, Uppsala in Sweden, Gothenburg in Sweden, 2 different Swedish festivals, Barcelona, they'll all get 200 people, 250, 300 people.
Wow.
Yeah. Finland is the festival we all measure ourselves against. If we're doing as good a job as Trent and FIF is, then we're doing it right. And Trent absolutely knows that we have all ripped him off. We've ripped off how he does things. We've ripped off his forms. He is completely aware that he is putting in the hard yards, and we are all copying and pasting.
Yeah, quite literally. Before we set up our social media for this festival, Mariana and we split all of the festivals into half to do research on what works well, and in the end our report was just look at FIF. Just look at that, and
because I was going to ask what your advice would be for people that wanted to run an improv festival, but now I know.
WDTD, what did Trent do? If people want to run an improv festival, I mean, they can pick our brains. My other piece of advice is get Mariana to work with you.
Yeah.
And if I could pronounce her surname, I would pitch from Mariana, Talking Dog. She's a wonderful improviser, great person.
You know what? She's got some great ideas outside because we've got some. We tried to do a few extra things outside of usual shows and workshops this year. So we've got a movie this year, not a Jean-Claude Van Damme improvised movie.
Although every Sunday at the Horse and Stables, 8 p.m.
Yeah, or 6 p.m. for the drop-in.
SE1 7RW.
Yeah. Nearest tube is Lambeth North.
It is closed though. Go to Waterloo.
Yeah. So. She has spoken to a director whose name I'm definitely not trying to remember desperately right now. Mr. Newell, I know his last name is Newell.
I know his film is Open Seasons.
Open Table.
Open Table. I failed. Keep talking, please. I failed.
Jack C. Newell is his name. And he has got a movie that was made entirely using improvisation.
Wow.
So we're after one of the nights. I don't know if I think it's for Thursday. But once we all finish at the Miller, it's free for everyone. Come over and
to the new nursery on Western Street.
Yeah, the new nursery right next to London Bridge. Mm-hmm. And she's even got in touch with Propercorn, providers of the best popcorn known to man. and they are, I don't know if it's a slogan, but it should be. And they've provided, I won't specify the amount of free popcorn because I might be eating some before. But but we've got free popcorn from Propercorn.
Yeah.
And also so we've got a movie. We've also got, and this is, I've got to say, I'm almost as excited about this as I am about the workshops and the shows. We've got a lecture So already I've lost you.
I knew you were going towards Berg.
Alex Berg from UCB. I'm still yet to meet, but I know I'm going to love the guy.
He's a really good
Number
guy.
one, because he likes wearing shorts on stage, and so do I. But he's...
I've seen him do a full improv show in just shorts.
Great.
Bare feet, no shirts. Just,
Great.
yeah.
Well, the no feet, the no shoes, the no shoes thing.
The no
ticks
shoes
your
speaks
box.
to me.
Yes.
I have not improvised with shoes for
Yeah.
at least a year and a half now.
So Alex Berg, he loves psychology, and he's doing a lecture, a free lecture at the Miller, I believe on Thursday night.
It's the 20th of October. Which one's that one? That is the Thursday night. Yep, 6 p.m. free entry.
6 p.m. It's free. A lecture on psychology and improv, the relation between improv and psychology, and it's a lecture, and I can't wait. Like, what is that going to say, Stuart? What is he going to say?
I don't know. We'll have to go along and find out, won't we?
Yeah, genuinely. I'm proud to. You can come to that. It's not like Drew's workshop. People can come to that one.
Nice.
We're looking. I mean, that's going to be great. Yada Yada Improv, we were talking about. They're a team that I personally adore. I know them really well from having gone to Finland so much, and they're a team that. You know when you just get to see a team over and over and over again, and every time I see them, they're better. So the first time I saw them, it was really clear that Trent was teaching them all and guiding them all, but it was like, oh, there's an enormously talented guy who's moved from Chicago, and there's a whole pile of really eager Finnish people doing their best. And now you watch them, it's just like, that's just a good team. That's a good team.
Nice.
So I'm really excited about them, and just because we've listed so many people, I want to get the ones we've missed. Big Bang are coming over from Boston. Some of you have met them before, or they've been before, they've taken workshops with them before. It's a very free style of improv. Will Lawera is the one that's going to be teaching out of that. That's exciting. Will Lawera and Kevin Scott are coming. So Will Lawera is really led Big Bang for a long time in Boston. He's now based in Florida, and it's all about sort of freestyle improv, just like freeform. Thank you, freeform. Grab whatever is shiny to you and run with that and go, 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 go. And Big Bang shows are notoriously very quick-paced. Anything that they find exciting. It's not about playing games or beats or returning to ideas. It's like this shiny thing, jump on it, run. That shiny thing, jump on it, run. So they'll be doing that. But then Kevin Scott is coming, who is a genuine improv legend. Holy shit. So Kevin Scott was with Centralia. He plays now at the Pit in New York. There's in Estonia this year, Tilt is their improv festival. It's happening at the same time as Slapdash.
No.
I know. Fuck you guys, because we booked first. You know I'm right, Rahel. We booked that time first, and you put yours on top. I have played Tilt, and I love the Estonian improv scene, so I can't complain. But he's doing both. He's the only teacher that's coming over and doing both.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So, yeah, he's going to play early on in the week. Him, Will, and then my teammate, John Agapew, who plays regularly with us and coaches several teams, including the Parentheticals and Ripcord, who originally trained in Boston. That's where he started his improv at Big Bang. So they're basically doing 3 generations of freeform improv, because Kevin is the master. I mean, Centralia were doing improv on Broadway when UCB were just trying to set up in New York. They were a Broadway show bringing improv to the masses.
So Kevin is Yoda.
Kevin...
Which one is Obi-Wan? Will is Obi-Wan.
Well, Michael
John is
Delaney in
Luke.
New York is actually Yoda. Like, that's his nickname. Kevin Scott is more...
Vader.
It's more Star Trek. It's more like...
you're
he's
not
not in Star... It's a different universe, but he's the Spock. He is Spock.
They're all stars.
They're all stars. You've made yourself laugh so much you had to hide your face.
Well, I'm certainly hiding my face, and it's because I've made myself laugh.
And then so we've got Neil +1 as well playing, Neil Curran, who is Ireland Improv, is coming over. He's also teaching What You're Doing Wrong. So his workshop is all focusing on, like, it's so easy, we're just making shit up, so then why do we hate ourselves when we feel like it's going wrong? So that'll be a really good one for people who get a bit stuck in their heads and a bit worried, but also... just to remember that, like, we do it because we like it, guys. And then lastly, which is very exciting, we've got the playground. We've got Maria Peters and Lauren Shearing.
Yay.
Bringing in the local love. They're going to have a whole pile of guests.
And also Nick Spurs Oram, the Playmobil players.
Oh, my God.
He is a Spurs fan. So.
How did I
If you
forget
need to
Nick
use the
Oram was
toilet, that's a good time to walk out.
Uh,
I love Nick.
If you've never seen Nick Orange at the Playmobil Place, you haven't lived. No offence to anybody else in London, but that is my all-time favourite London show.
I do worry that it's just a cry for help.
Oh my god, it's so. The first time I watched him do a whole Harold, first of all, just a one-man Harold, that is fucking challenging. 25 minutes, you alone on stage, full Harold. To then, instead of doing it yourself, to do it with Playmobil players, little Lego men. That's bonkers to me.
This is what supporting Tottenham Hotspurs pushes you to.
Nobody asked you to bring the football into it, Keith. Nobody asked for it. So that, in the world's largest nutshell, is Slapdash.
Yeah.
So as I said, third week in October, workshops are going to go from the 17th to the 23rd, so there's workshops all the way through.
Oh, there's a coaching workshop too.
Yeah, with Berg.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just remembered to...
Yep.
Sorry, 17th to the 23rd.
17th to 23rd, coaching workshop is if you are an improv coach and would like to be better, or if you would like to learn to be an improv coach, because it's a different set of skills. I'll let you bring the football back into it now. Not everybody who plays well is a good coach, and not everybody who coaches well is the world's best player. So it's great to have training on that side as well.
I like that metaphor.
Yes.
That made me happy.
Having been a teacher for 20 years, plus being a mediocre improviser for 20 years, that's my life analogy of just... It's sad. I always wanted to be the other one, but I've just had to accept now that I'm always going to be average on stage and better off. That's devastating to say out loud. 17th to 23rd. Workshops will be all over the weekends. There'll be a lot of evenings, but there won't be workshops while the shows are on. So there's no workshops on the 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd in the evening. But the daytime is full of them because obviously we've got international guests coming over and taking them. So my suggestion is book a workshop and take a sickie.
But not Drew's on the Sunday, or whatever day that is.
I say take Drew's workshop. I say take so you decide.
Also, if it's a Sunday, you don't have to. So, well, normal working pattern.
It's the day after the final Slapdash show. People will be sick, but in a very different way.
Yeah, don't waste your money. Don't.
It's not a waste of money.
It's an absolute waste of money.
I genuinely think it'll be the best workshop at Slapdash.
For me, if no one else turns up, that's what I'm trying to guarantee.
Slapdashfestival.co.uk. You can also find it through the C3 Something website, c3something.com, and through the nursery website. We'll have access to it. It's got its own Twitter.
Yeah, at Slapdash Improv, I believe it is, and the hashtag is
Hashtag Slapdash16, and again, you can also find it through at C3 Something or at Nursery Theatre. So it's any way in. Or a lot of you just know us, like stop us in the street, ask us at shows. I always find it so weird doing plugs at the end of the night when it's like, if you want more information about my classes, I'm in the room, man. Just fucking come and talk to me.
Do you want to just briefly talk about what you're doing on Sunday nights at the Horse and Stables?
Mostly it's bad improv.
But that's a gift because it's good. I mean, bad improv is what we should be aiming for that,
Right.
And then
we're working hard. We're
aiming higher. Most people are like, I'll aim for art instead of for comedy. It's like, I'll aim for anything that doesn't make the audience walk out.
So you've got the drop-in, which is on at 6.
Yeah, that's our newest, second newest night actually.
Depresses me that we're doing so much at the moment.
You've got an even newer night than the drop-in.
We have.
Yeah.
Oh, you still have, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yes,
Let's talk about the drop-in first.
Let's do the drop-in first.
So
we'll come back to
I love the drop-in. The drop-in I think is great because it's a big open invite. There's always a jam. So if you're not in a team, you can come along and get on stage. And you know what? We've actually had teams form through just turning up, jamming, and finding out, oh, look, I want to do more, you want to do more.
C3 Something don't run shows without a chance to jam or play. Every single show we run, there's some stage time for the audience somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's important. Give stage time. But so it's open. It doesn't matter how new you are as a team, how established you are,
how experimental you are.
In fact, it does matter, because the more experimental you are, the more likely we are going to crowbar you in.
Yeah.
Because we want this to be a safe environment to come and try anything.
I would go even further. We want the bonkers shit. Fucking bring it on. That's exactly what we're looking for. If you're like, I've ever wondered if I could improvise naked with a bar of soap up my ass, the drop-in is the show for you.
It is. Recently we've had we've had a guy come along and he improvised with an algorithm that he wrote on his computer.
Piotr?
Yeah.
Yes, he was in the last episode of the Improv London podcast.
Oh,
Nice!
So,
yes.
so the listeners will have heard about them last week.
Nice, on
Last
episode 45.
Correct.
Yep.
Nice. You're good.
Yeah.
Technically, that's a callback.
So he came and he was experimenting for the first time, and it was just fantastic. Where we've done shows ourselves, like where we'll just put blindfolds on and see. Well, let's see what happens if we're all blindfolded.
You stuck your dirty fingers in my mouth. That's what happened.
It wasn't my finger.
In that case, Keith, you got bigger problems.
It was my thumb.
Should I say smaller problems?
Yeah, but drop in. But it's fair, yeah, we want people to come at DCM. They do they call them bit shows in the evening, where I think generally it's like party shows. People have a drink.
1
and just do
a.m. till
crazy
6
shit.
a.m.
We kind of want that spirit of
But at a more social time.
yeah, on a nice London, there's no 24
Until people get used to the 24-hour tube, we can't. See3 Something have tried running late night shows. London won't do it. No, the bell rings at 11 o'clock. I must have one more beer and then I must go. No.
Yeah.
I cannot do comedy at 10 p.m. No. London cannot deal.
It's true. But at DCM they'll do so you know what a mono scene is. They'll do a Bono scene where everyone is Bono, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy shit. But like a crazy
Christopher Walken, where everybody has to walk onto scenes as Christopher Walken.
Yeah, they do a straight man show where everyone plays the straight man and accuses everyone else of being the unusual thing. They're all trying to out straight man each other.
I think it's unusual that you're explaining what straight man is.
Well, I think it's unusual that you would bring that up just after I. It's better than this. So we want people. Please get in touch with us. Improv@c3something.com.
That's right.
Or like Carleen says, just come and harass us. But seriously, like if you want to do a one prov, Jacqueline Black now runs. We've given her a night a couple of times.
Solo prov, yeah.
Yeah, and a good friend of
Hang Solo.
Hang
Yes.
Solo, thank you.
a good friend of both of ours, Joel. Apparently, I missed it that week, but he apparently done a one prov short form.
Yeah.
I love him anyway, but to watch. It's just laughing.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing thinking about it because I can't encapsulate what he did, but it was just.
Right.
It was
Well, he
delight.
said he was happy with it.
It was a delight. It was a
Yeah,
delight.
I bet. So, you know what? So, come up with a crazy batshit idea where you think this would never work. Come and bring it, please.
But also for the drop-in as well, like, we want the batshit ideas, we're desperate for them. But also just, like, email us for some stage time. New teams, London is growing and growing and growing as an improv scene, but we're still pretty small, and it's hard to get stage time. So, absolutely, give us a shout. You perform and you get better. You learn from it. You learn from the process. There's only so many classes and rehearsals you can get taking before you want to start applying it. I will re-emphasize, once you are applying it, keep taking the classes. Because I have met a lot of people that are just like, I'm on stage now! That doesn't mean you're done learning, dude. Doesn't mean you're done learning.
No, that's when my learning starts.
Yeah. It's also a great interactive show for the audience. We get a lot going on. That was very deep.
Yeah, we do.
That's very deep.
No,
I walked
no,
over
no.
that a little bit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
where the learning
You're a shallow
starts.
person.
I'm so fucking shallow. You have no idea. You have absolutely no idea. I'm not even looking at the timer on the Zoom. I'm just admiring my own reflection.
Yeah, so we have a drop in. So please do apply to that. If you're a person on your own, come along and jam. We try and do different twists on the jam sometimes. We do the movie form, so we might in the jam get them to do a movie, or we might do other.
So the drop-in's at 6 p.m. on Sundays, and then our regular show, which has been going for about a year and a half now, Dinner and a Movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, is at 8. So you are welcome to come to either or both shows. They both have jams. Both is great, but don't feel like you have to stay. I think a lot of people are just like, I've just had 90 minutes of improv, that might be enough. Whereas other people are just like, I've just had 90 minutes! Give me 90 minutes more!
Be that person.
I'm in the shows even. I struggle to be that person some weeks. Some weeks I'm like, are we not done? Come on, guys, tank's empty. Most weeks I own the other person.
But there's also a jam in that show as well.
This
So
every
worth
C3
sticking
something
around.
show has a jam.
Talking of other every C3 show. The last new show.
That was an old show. The Five-a-Side's back, baby.
Do you remember going to the old Five-a-Side at the old nursery?
I remember it being on, but I don't think I actually ever made it to that.
I can honestly say, hand on heart, this is a genuine, backed by popular demand.
Right. But new and improved.
New and improved, because it used to be referred to as the improv show that never ends. Because there was a lot going on. Steve Rowe really wanted C3 Something to start running a regular night at the Miller. But Steve is also a massive champion of getting people stage time, getting people on stage. So he wanted us specifically to run a show that would be open to newer teams and open to people that want to experiment, which is something that really appeals to C3 Something anyway. So the Five-a-Side is a title that you can ignore because it confuses people. Each week
you don't need
five. 1 is fine, 12 is fine, probably a little bit much. But so each time the show's on, at the moment it's basically Wednesdays, but not all Wednesdays, every second or third. Check out c3something.com or check out the Hoopla website, we'll have it as well, and so will the Miller website, I think. Also, just check out the Hoopla website, because Steve's just such a nice man. In fact, don't even do that. Just email Steve and just say, hey, you're a really nice guy, and you don't get told often enough.
He is a really nice guy.
He's a really nice guy. I think there's drugs involved. You can't be that nice all the time.
He's got really nice hair, too.
He does. His hair never
Let's
goes.
say that.
Do you think he's a robot?
Yeah.
I think maybe he's a robot. He's nice all the time. His
We'll
hair
check
never
with
moves.
Piotr. He'll know whether Steve Rowe is a robot or not.
Okay, so Steve's a really nice robot, but
Pyro or a ninja, though.
Billy Merritt, Robot Pirate Ninja trademark. We'll be back March next year, March 2017. Put it in your diary, Billy Merritt. He is one of our teachers, like Will Hines and Anthony Tamanick, that sells out in seconds, so be prepared now.
Don't sign up. No, sign up for that one. It's fine, yeah.
Just sign up for that.
Yeah.
Your messages are so confusing, Keith, so I don't know what to do now.
We book 5 teams every time, and we make one audience team. So again, if you want to play, you just come along, get a raffle ticket. You might be in the audience team. Each team gets 8 minutes, and they can do anything they like in that 8 minutes. But the one trick is they get exactly 8 minutes. It is on the clock. So if they have a wonderful end of a scene at 7 minutes and 49 seconds, we just leave them there, dicks in the wind, for 11 seconds. While they try and figure out if they're supposed to start a new scene or not. And also a big boo to any of the teams that finish with the whole, like, whatever you have to say, do it in 6 seconds. Fuck you, do your improv scene, stop watching the clock. So 6 teams will play in the first half. At the break time, after the break, the audience will vote via the very technical measure of applause. And one team will win that week, and they will be rewarded with a 15-minute slot in the second half. Wow. So they'll go off and warm up. So it's really an incentive to get more stage time. Be good, get more stage time. Don't be good, learn, come back again. We then, with the remaining teams, we take a member from each of it and the beautiful Keith Malda, and then we do what's called a play-by-play, which is where they all do scenes together and 2 of C3 Something sit off to the side and commentate.
It's brilliant.
Like
it's
one
brilliant.
would do in a sporting
it's
match.
Heckling. They see C3 Something, be like, oh, we're so supportive. No, they trick you into coming along and then they heckle you. They sit on stage alongside you and heckle you and give you, quote unquote...
Why are you saying they? You're one of us.
Because you bullied me last week.
And I've been the person playing previously. Shem's the only one that hasn't suffered so far.
Yeah. This week, Shem is playing. Right? You heard it here first.
Shem.
I like to think this is how he gets his news.
Yeah. So the play-by-play is something we stole off Will and Kevin Hines, which is something they stole off Michael Delaney and Billy Merritt. But it's improv, so it's not stealing, it's just recycling. And it's sort of a really fun inside baseball style of play where you're watching people improvise, but at the same time you have some experienced improvisers on the outside commenting on the techniques that are being used and a little bit sort of expunging the flaws and the initiations.
Brilliant.
And sometimes just having a little bit of fun at the expense of the improvisers. And then finally, if that's not enough, you get to watch C3 Something do some improv and Keith do terrible callbacks and walk-ons.
Get him a button and the biggest round of applause.
I made this.
That's improv!